Well, there's something you don't see every day. Today we're checking out a vintage movie store over here in Lewiston, New York. Now, this store used to primarily sell movies, and they've kind of converted a little bit more into a pop culture type of store since physical media just doesn't sell like it used to, but they still do have the greatest selection I've seen of old black and white movies and some other classics sprinkled in. Now, this is some footage I've been sitting on for a little while, and we were actually at the store that day because we wanted to get a copy of The Public Enemy to give as a gift for someone. That's a movie that we really like, and I actually was able to find it pretty fast. Oh, they got it, Luke. Yeah. And while we were there, of course, I can't leave without getting something for myself, so I had to look around and see what caught my eye. And this was actually around Halloween when I filmed this video, so I was looking for kind of an old horror movie. There's one that I actually watched, an old Italian movie, An Angel for Satan. That was a cool one right there. Yeah, you don't see movies like this very often. This store actually, they used to have a big shelf on the other side of this that was all used DVDs and Blu-rays, and the owner was telling me that they were actually having such a hard time moving these DVDs that over the summer he sold all of them for $1 a piece, and I wish I could have been there for that sale. I did wind up picking one movie up this day, and I did not actually show that in the footage, but if you stay tuned until the end, I will show you guys what I picked up. It was a Blu-ray released from Shout Factory, and it was actually a pretty cool one I'd never heard of before, so definitely stay tuned if you want to see that. That was a cool movie right there. Man of a Thousand Faces, where James Cagney plays Lon Chaney, the Man of a Thousand Faces from the silent era. Played a lot of classic silent film movies. I mainly know him from The Phantom of the Opera. That's actually one of my favorite movies, either the musical or the silent version. of course, you couldn't have a collectibles store without a huge wall of Funko Pops. This store is always a blast to check out, and usually I spend way too much when I'm here, but this time I was good and we only picked up one thing, so let's go home and show you what that is. Well guys, I always love checking out that place. There are so few places you can actually find physical media, DVDs and Blu-rays anymore, so to find a place that's dedicated to just the classics, like the black and white stuff, I always love to see that. I really wish more people my age had an appreciation for that generation, that era, but either way, you know, I really hope that that place stays alive and they continue to sell movies. I was actually inspired to do this video because I was going live and the chat and I were actually talking a little bit and old movies wound up coming up, and it seemed like there were quite a few people in the chat that were interested in that stuff, and that's something that's really important to me that I don't really see talked about enough. So I did pick up one movie, so I'll show that off right now. And part of the reason I put off making this video is because I wanted to watch the movie first, and I actually still haven't done that. I just haven't gotten around to it, but because I made the video in October, I was looking for something a little bit more horror themed. I haven't watched a lot of old horror movies, mostly like noir, kind of gangster sort of movies, more drama based, so I wanted something a little creepier. So the movie I picked out was I Bury the Living. This is a movie from 1958, and it's kind of like a horror-leaning sort of thriller, and the description on the back sounded really interesting. Through a series of chilling coincidences, the newly elected director of a cemetery, played by Richard Boone, begins to believe that he can cause the deaths of living owners of burial plots by merely changing the pushpin color from white, living, to black, dead, on a large map of the cemetery. It's kind of like a reverse Blackest Night right there. Pretty cool, pretty badass. And what I actually thought was really cool about this as well is that this film was co-produced and directed by Albert Band, who is actually the father of Charles Band. If you know about Full Moon Features, they put out a lot of really cool, kind of dumb sort of B movies, a lot of like so bad they're good movies. Like one of my favorite movie series that I've watched from them is called Evil Bong, and just so goofy, so stupid, and I absolutely love it. They also did the Puppet Master movies. Those are like kind of the most popular ones, the ones that people actually consider kind of good movies, but I definitely am interested to see, you know, what his father did before him. I want to get more into like some old horror, but the thing is that I'm not really into like creature feature type things, and I feel like a lot of the horror movies from that age are kind of like monster creature kind of movies, and I'm more into like, you know, like kind of sort of grounded in reality, a little bit more like slashery kind of psychological type stuff. So if anyone knows of any movies like that that kind of scratches that itch, let me know. I like kind of foreign horror movies. Like I was showing in that footage, there was an Italian movie that we had watched, An Angel for Satan. And that was a pretty cool one, kind of horror-ish movie, and I'd like to check out more stuff like that. But yeah, that's all I had to show, just one movie, but I really love that shop, and I really wish that there were more places like that, especially a place like that that's like so curated, so specific, so it's like all the stuff there is just really good and really cool, and their collectibles section is also really, really cool. I found a lot of cool things from there over the years. It's called Viva Nostalgia in Lewiston, New York. They used to go by Mother's Movies, but since they're kind of making the shift more into a pop culture store, kind of leaning away from the movie aspect, so they did change their name. But if you're ever in the area, if you like old movies like that, definitely go by, pick up a couple things from there, and show them some support and show them that we want to keep physical media alive. So that's it. That's everything I have to say today. I hope you enjoyed that, and have a good day.